Welcome back to the Retro Wave. I'm your host, El Tiburon, and we're back at it with talking about funny wrestling promos and downing some White Claws. I'm here with my godfather slash friend slash best man, a.k.a. Psycho T, a.k.a. Tuna, a.k.a. the old Tuna from the block.
I used to have a little, now I have a lot.
Yeah, that's right. So this episode's dropping in January 1st, so I thought what better way to celebrate a new year with some hilarious promos, wrestling promos. And just to give a little backstory, back when I used to live in Alhambra, we used to watch a lot of, I think every Friday we used to watch like funny Ric Flair promos and drink Jack and Coke. You remember that?
Oh man, those were the times right there. Yeah, it was a weekly thing. We would get together and just have some drinks and watch some promos. That's what it was all about.
Yeah, I remember just buying the freaking Kirkland brand whiskey. Kirkland, America's brand.
Plugging in Costco right there.
It was like clockwork. Like, let's drink some Jack and Coke. Well, not even some Kirk and Coke. And watch Ric Flair promos, pretty much. So I thought with this podcast we would commemorate that, and because it is New Year's, we're having some drinks, some manly drinks, some White Claws, and just to give a little more backstory too, you're not really a big wrestling fan, I would say. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. I'm not into like the technical side of it. I can't name like all the wrestlers, like all the greats. What I'm into more is like the promos, like the interviews right before the action, like all those. You can't really beat the promos from back in the days, like obviously Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, like all those like hilarious promos that made no sense, like no goddamn sense. But that's what I'm into.
Yeah, I remember when I met you, we were in high school, and Billy, myself, and other people were doing backyard wrestling, and for some reason Billy would bring those VHS tapes, and then he would play them during like our history class, I think. And you were in the and you were in the classroom cracking up. And then I don't know how it happened, but we just asked you, hey, you want to come and be like part of our backyard wrestling federation? And you were just like, yeah, sure.
If you don't remember how that happened, I do. I think you signed me to a 5-day contract. If I recall, you drew it up on the spot right there, and I had to sign it.
Wasn't it like a 5 show or 10 show deal? Like you had to show up for like 5 or 10 shows?
Yeah, it was something like that. But I couldn't believe how I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever heard before. Who gets signed like in history class? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do
it. It was at a piece of the college paper too, though. And then I remember that when you started like wrestling with us in the backyard, I remember you kind of, I guess, but everybody was watching wrestling back then. Everybody was watching wrestling. That's when wrestling was hot. It was like the late 90s. So even you were watching it. I'm sure you weren't watching it a few years before that.
No, not before. Yeah, I started watching it somewhere around like super late 90s, early 2000s, like the Attitude Era, I would say. That's what I saw the most. So I kind of like knew who the big names were back then, like Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, Jericho, like all those guys. But yeah, that's when I started watching it, I think.
Yet you would say the Big Boss Man was your favorite wrestler.
Oh man, come on now. That's taken out of context. So we were doing this. I guess it was this list, and we had to pit each other's wrestlers against each other, And I just figured, like, I would put up like the boss man against his best wrestler. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just thought I thought I would toss him out there first, But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah. So what I would do was I would ask people in the classroom, hey, give me your top 10 favorite wrestlers. So it was like 2 or 3 of us sometimes. And then I would grab the list and then I would say like, okay, in a triple threat match or one-on-one, this guy would win. And then I would let the person know like, oh, okay, you won because you had like the best wrestlers or whatever. I don't know. This was back before, I was going to say back before the internet, but we had the internet back then. I guess this was back before smartphones where we had to entertain ourselves without any smartphones in class.
Or before the internet was good.
No, we had the internet back then.
Yeah, dial-up maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
AOL floppy disks.
Hey, but can you white claw me?
Oh, yeah, coming up. Give me a second.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to get right into it. I pretty much selected 10 promos that we've watched together and have cracked us up. And yeah, we're just going to watch them and react to them. But first, we're gonna take a little commercial break first.
Wow! This WCW magazine is really cool!
In the July issue, find out what torture the Total Package has in store. Get personally trained with the Booty Bay and get a behind-the-scenes look at Nitro.
The only weekly live broadcast on the planet. Man, where do they get this stuff?
Get your copy now on newsstands everywhere.
All right, so like I said, we're gonna play 10 promos that we've watched and have cracked us up. Now we're just gonna observe them. Some are short, and some are a little bit longer. But yeah, let me go with my number 10 here.
But you know and I know that you're only half the man that I am. And I have half the brain that you do.
Oh, man.
I like how as soon as he says that, you see they cut to Scott Hall and Kevin Nash cracking up. So what does he say? You know that you're half the man that I am, but I got half the brain that you do. I don't know which one's worse.
Oh, man. I mean, I know what he was going for, but it's just the execution wasn't there.
I think
man.
I've heard in like promos afterwards, he's done like shoot. You know what shoot interviews are?
Yeah.
He did shoot interviews like when they interview you outside a character, pretty much. He said that someone wrote that for him in the script, so he was blaming the script writers.
Oh, man.
But I mean, wouldn't you look at that and be like, "Wait a minute, we need a rewrite on this"?
I mean, you never know. He might have read it on the spot, but then again, yeah, I blame it on him though.
So that was Sid. I didn't include that other promo he has where he I think it's in Your House, and he's cutting a promo and he gets tongue tied mid promo, and he's like, "All right, let me do it again." And Jim Ross goes, "We're live, pal."
The look on his face.
Yeah. So Sid was thinking about Christmas was just happened. You know, Sid is the gift that keeps on giving. All right, next promo, like I said, that was a short one. We're going to go into a little bit longer.
Monday Nitro, where we're breathless after that ladder match we've just seen, but we're just beginning. Now we're going to take you live, Mean Gene Okerlund, talking to Bret the Hitman Hart. Gene?
Tony, with the announcement earlier on from President Ric Flair of World Championship Wrestling, I've set up camp back in the locker room area with this man, Bret the Hitman Hart. And as you heard earlier on, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, as president of WCW, announcing a mandatory United States title defense for Bret the Hitman Hart. That's coming up on February the 21st at Super Brawl. Tonight, however, in a non-title bout, you've got Booker T. You've got a full plate here, I must say.
You know, I don't know what Ric Flair's problem is, you know.
You know, I've always been a jam-up guy. I've always been a guy that's never ducked anything, anybody, anytime, anywhere. Now, Ric Flair, you know, this is a case of a guy that's carrying around a grudge. He's had a grudge against me since I've come here, and, you know, that's fine. He wants to throw me in a ring tonight with Booker T. Who is Booker T? Who is this guy to even have a match with me, let alone a non-title match, because he's a loser. He's not going to get a title shot. You can forget about that.
Well, he is not a loser. You know
he's
that,
a
Brett.
loser. Now, Booker T, I want to ask you a question. Have you got the guts to step in the ring with the excellence of execution tonight? Do you know that your life is on the line? Your career is on the line. All the little kids at home, they're going to watch me tear you up and break you in little pieces. Is that what you want? I'm sure that's what Ric Flair wants.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Booker T. This man has held numerous titles in World Championship Wrestling, and there's a guy that we would be deserving of a chance at your United States title.
Let me tell you about who deserves a shot at the United States heavyweight.
Let's hear it.
I'm the champion. I ought to know. You know, I've been sizing up guys since I came to WCW. And I think the one guy that stands out the most, the guy that I think has earned a title shot, El Dandy, I think you're a heck of a wrestler. You're a great technician in the ring, and you're a jam-up guy.
Whoa.
I don't see any reason.
Wait a minute. El Dandy has been wrestling in the cruiserweight division here. Please.
He's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler, but my goodness sakes, there's 50 pounds
Who
difference.
are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Well, let's talk about some serious contenders.
How about hypnosis? Let's get thrown.
Psychosis?
Whatever. He's a great wrestler. You know, you can say what you want. You can try to tear these guys down and take them down.
Psychosis has also been...
How about hypnosis? Psychosis?
He's a jam-up guy.
Okay, you do me a favor, Tuna. If I go before you, on my headstone, I want he was a jam-up guy and a serious professional.
Oh, man, you got it.
That's next time I can't give anybody a compliment. I'm going to say, well, he's a jam-up guy and a serious professional. So do you know who El Dandy is?
Oh, man, no.
So El Dandy was pretty much, you know, back in the day, WCW had awesome cruiserweights. So cruiserweights were guys that I think were below 200 pounds or something. So, you know, you had your guys that went on to be even bigger stars in the WWE. You had Rey Mysterio, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Chris Jericho, guys like that. But then you had other guys that were maybe not as, you know, renowned. You had, you know, El Dandy, which, you know, it looked like a guy you would pick up at Home Depot to come and help you carry some heavy stuff. Come build you something at your house. Pretty much, he wasn't one of the more fancy, spectacular luchadors. So, you know, I guess Bret Hart felt that El Dandy deserved a shot at his United States Championship. I'm just watching this pro. I'm like, I bet El Dandy. What if I just picture El Dandy at home, like
watching this?
Yeah, on his recliner, and Bret Hart calls him out. He probably like fell off his recliner.
Lacing up those boots.
Yeah, all right. And you know what? Bret Hart's not really known. A lot of the shots that Bret Hart have been that he is not a great promo, and I kind of disagree.
I mean, from the promos that I've seen, he just cracks me up every time. A jam-up guy right there.
Yeah, I think because he has like a very sarcastic, serious tone. That some of the stuff that he says, I don't know, it cracks me up. He's always been known as a great technical, probably the best technical wrestler ever. But they're like, yeah, but his promos weren't that good, and I don't know. I kind of disagree.
Well, they're not over the top or anything like that. I think you're right. They kind of maybe fly under people's radar. Like it's a dry humor, would you say?
Yeah, he has a little bit more dry humor. Well, there's a disagreements with Bret Hart, but my number 8 pick, I don't think there's any disagreements that this guy was or wasn't a great promo.
Annual Bunkhouse Stampede well underway, and let's hear from the man in charge, the Bunkhouse Stampede champion, Dusty Rhodes.
This is Dusty Rhodes, the American dream, the buckle, the boot, the prestige, the money of the Bunkhouse Stampede. being the baddest of the bad, being the bull of the woods, if you will. 25, 30 men stampeded into one little bit of ring, you understand, with one thing in mind, to hurt somebody, to kick somebody's booty, to twist their arm off and put their ankles up in their chin. And many mornings I got up dwelling on the fact of being the 2-time winner of the bunkhouse stampede. How am I going to do it this year when last year I had to feel around, see if my nose was still on my face. Look up in the morning and see if my ears were still on my head. My eyeballs in the socket were playing steady on my mind because I knew Dusty Rhodes has to be the bunkhouse stampede champion for the 3rd time. If you will, for your hockey fans, it's a hat trick. You understand? It's a hat trick. And Dusty Rhodes now comes at you with this in mind. Anywhere, any place that on the marquee you see the National Wrestling Alliance presents the Bunkhouse Stampede. If you want to just feel a little bit of how bad it is to be the baddest, to be the bull of the woods, then and only then, buy your ticket, walk in and sit down and watch Dusty Rhodes become the bull of the woods.
Yeah, so there we had the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Will you say this is your favorite Dusty Rhodes promo?
I mean, interview-wise, yeah. I mean, him cutting a promo, obviously, this is my favorite. There might be just one other where he's not really speaking. He's actually in the background getting racked. So promo-wise, yeah, that was my favorite one. But yeah,
this is what every now and then you'll cut this promo when you I don't know, every now and then you'll cut this promo too. And mind you, in this promo, he's wearing like a fucking Tom Petty from that music video where he's like an Alice in Wonderland top hat, but it has like a chicken claw on the brim of the yeah.
Oh man,
I kind of feel like, man, if I would have watched wrestling, so this was like 80s, so I didn't watch wrestling then. I kind of feel like if I would have watched wrestling then, I would have like maybe this stuff would have gone over my head, but man, this stuff is gold.
And you know what too? You know what else helps is when you're seeing these promos and then you kind of scroll down the comment section. Oh, there's like comedy gold in there. It just keeps on giving these promos.
What was that thing that they said about Lex Luger?
Oh.
Someone mentioned Lex Luger about not winning the Bull of the Woods.
Yeah, because he wasn't I guess he wasn't good enough or competitive enough, and somebody in the comment section said that he couldn't cut a piece of paper much. No, what did he say? He couldn't cut a promo much. Oh man,
he said he couldn't cut a piece of paper, let alone a promo. Because somebody else in the comments said like Lex, you know. Because what you might not know this, but I guess at this time, Dusty Rhodes was the booker, which for those that don't know, a booker is someone that calls, that they do the whole card. They say who's going to win and not win. Spoiler alert, wrestling's fixed. So, yeah, so Dusty was the booker. So he would pick who would win, who would lose. So someone in the comments said like, Dusty was just trying to make himself look good, get himself over. So he made himself the winner of the Bull of the Woods. And he said they said like Lex Luger should have won it. And
yeah, but the way he was cutting those promos, he deserved the belt, the buckle.
And what else? The boot.
The boots. The prestige, the money.
Yeah. So the championship was actually like a fucking like a Texas, what do they call it? A cowboy boot. with like a sheriff plaque on there or something. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think anybody could debate. You can say about maybe his wrestling ability, but nobody can debate that Dusty Rhodes can cut one hell of a promo. The guy at the number 7, maybe not so much.
And starting this moment from now, from this moment on, this will be the moment, starting now, of the genesis of McGillicuddy.
Right. Can we hear from the winner now, please? Hit the buzzer.
Yeah, so what?
The genesis of McGillicuddy.
Starting now. From this moment. From this moment on.
The time is now.
So the guy we heard there is, I don't know if you knew this. This is McGillicuddy. I forgot what his first name was, but he's the son of Mr. Perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is the son of Mr. Perfect. Great wrestler. Maybe not the greatest promo guy. What did you think of that promo?
Oh, man. I think he sent it to me a while ago, and when I saw it, I couldn't stop cracking up because it looked like he was thinking just a little bit too hard, you know?
Yeah, so this promo, he cut it, and they used to have, so now there's a brand called NXT, which is kind of the minor leagues for the WWE. But back then, NXT, I mean, I guess it was like a way to bring up young guys. So, but it was like almost like a reality show where they would have to compete, and one guy would win a contract, I think, into the WWE. So this was like a promo competition, and I don't think he won this promo competition.
It's safe to say.
Yeah, but it's still, hey, I will give him this. You probably remember this more than whoever won the actual promo competition.
Oh man, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it's on YouTube. It's, if anybody wants to look it up, it's the genesis of McGillicuddy. All right, let's get to our next one right here. This guy, just like Sid Vicious, is the gift that keeps on giving. Also,
Rick and Scott Steiner, let me welcome you back.
Oh, Team 3D, you guys are out of your mind. Coming to Atlanta, Georgia, the place that the Steiner brothers got their start in professional wrestling. You guys are out of your mind, making it a table match, because tonight we're going to beat you at your own game. And after it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance, but you had a chance, is if you can run lickety-split. Because you can't run because you got some fat asses. And after it's done, we're going to have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia. You wanted some, you got some. This is the big time, boys. You come down that aisle, the Steiner brothers has got something for you. Ooh, 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 it's a dog pound. Ooh.
yeah. So that was Scott Steiner. I guess he really does not like fat asses. I don't know. Even though after all of those fat asses, my favorite part of the chance of the promo, is when he says, "You had a chance, but now you don't got a chance." What does he say? Like, you had a chance, but now you got no chance because your chance was to run lickety split. I don't know why that's my favorite part of the promo.
What does that even mean, lickety split?
I think that just means, like, I guess you hightail it out of there.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry, have you heard that little cash noise that I just sold something on eBay? Let me see. Nice. What did I sell? I sold Mario Kart on the Wii. Yeah. So do you remember your introduction of this promo?
Oh man, I gotta say, I remember more of him stumbling like to come out with the words than the actual promo. It might have been that other one where he's talking about like the guy's percentages of winning against him.
That spoiler alert, that's gonna make an appearance later on this list.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But yeah, this one's an awesome. I think you would talk more about this one than me. The fat ass.
I think that was Killer Rules, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but I know that, yeah, Killer Rules listens to this podcast, so maybe he might have introduced this to us, because I don't. I remember the math one more, and this one I thought you had introduced to me, but maybe it was Francisco.
It was. I want to say it was definitely him. So a shout out to Killer Rules out there.
Yeah, and if you, the funny thing is, if Scott Steiner's on Cameo, which Cameo is an app where you can request for celebrities to give you shout outs, birthday wishes, or fucking roast you. And it's anybody that requests Scott Steiner, he just fucking roast. People want Scott Steiner to roast them, and it's super hilarious.
Oh man, I can't even imagine it.
That was one word that I heard where he's like, "Hey, whatever, Tim, I heard you got a fat ass. You know I hate fat asses." Yeah, so we might be seeing an old Scotty boy later on in the list, but let's go on to the next one.
Woo! Did I hear that punk right there say anything about the 4 horsemen? The greatest group of men to ever grace God's green earth. I didn't hear that because as far as I'm concerned, it looks like the horsemen were here, they took a dump in the ring, and they left that.
Wow. I'll come up there and I'll break your neck right now, punk.
I had the privilege to be on the road up and down. Late nights, parties, kissing the girls, and making them cry. With the horsemen, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, are no horsemen. That is disrespectful to me and this wrestling business. Mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Why ain't you, Nature Boy? Not that pisshead Jay Lethal. Hey! That's right.
Whoop.
Come on, brothers. Let's see what you got. You can Let's see your Rolex. Let's see what you got. Come on. Throw all your balls away, Rick. Come on. Let's see what you got. You want to see something? Yeah. Let me show you something. I want to see it.
Well, Flair's got one shoe on, by the way.
You want to see it? Yeah. You want to see it? Yeah. Watch this.
He is driving Flair nuts.
Right there is the greatest thing I've ever seen. You can't be me. You can't do me. And I'm cutting you off right now. You're cutting me off. Yeah. You don't cut me off. Woo! Hey, don't you start that with me. Woo! Woo! Don't you be upset. Limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun that could kiss any woman right here, even that fat one, and make her cry. Big man, don't get me wrong. Don't you be upset because they tore Old Space Mountain down. Don't be upset. But hey, because of Rick, oldest ride, longest line. Woo! Woo! Well, Rick, thanks to me, Space Mountain. See what you got, man. Let's see what you got.
There's the other shoe drop.
You know what?
This is insane.
You want to see something? You know what? Woo! Come on the ring right now. Woo! 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 Woo!
It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
You got nothing. Limousine riding. Rolex wearing. Kid stealing. Brother, watch this, girls. Woo! You honey. Woo! Yeah, you honey. That ride has been shut down long enough. Thanks
Shut
to me.
your mouth.
If you, Nate.
Listen here, Tinkerbell.
If that man can't even control
creation of a legend, the greatest wrestler who ever lived. I am out here making a name for myself. So I suggest tonight you do the same thing. You take that ghetto booty, take it off a Space Mountain for 5 seconds and put it in this ring, because I'm going to kick it.
Big talk from a man who can't even control Chelsea. Hey, you know what Chelsea told me? You want to know what she told me? She said, hey, I tried the old guy. Young guys are much faster, stronger, hey, and there's 60-minute men that is. Wow! She told me, you don't know what 60 minutes is. You don't know what 60 is in the bedroom or the ring. That's man, you got it. You want me tonight? Yeah. You got it. We want you all night long. That's man, tonight you're going to find out that jumping on is a lot easier than jumping on. Wow! That's my line. 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 Come on.
Oh, man.
I don't even know where to start with that. It's just complete chaos with that promo. I think I might have introduced you to that promo, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So this was Jay Lethal, which is he's an awesome wrestler, but awesome Macho Man and Ric Flair impersonator.
That's right. He does Black Machismo, huh?
Yeah, so that's pretty much him coming down out of the entrance and having it's almost, I guess, like a double vision. He's doing Ric Flair for Ric Flair and stealing his lines. Oh, man.
He has everything going for him, like the little swagger, the obviously like him dropping the elbow on his coat. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing with the audio podcast. You can't see what during everything they're doing, but at some point, Jay Lethal drops an elbow and a knee drop on his jacket, as Ric Flair would. This promo is pretty much one of the only redeemable things of TNA. So this was in TNA, just like the Scott Steiner Fat Asses one. So yeah, love this promo. I will never get tired of watching this. Speaking of, TNA, not a big company like WWE or WCW. The next one, even lower on the radar of people. But this guy this guy's in Psycho T Tuna's top 5 favorite wrestlers here.
Yeah, this guy's in a league of his own. So seriously.
Let's listen in on this guy here.
This is Robbie Marino, CZW with Zandig. Oh my God, what the fuck just happened?
What do you mean what happened? What are you, blind? Jesus! There was 5 of them! It took 5 of them! Justice Pain! Hate Club! The Hate Club's dead! Nick Gage! Nate Hatred! Who do you think you are? Nobody does this to Zandig! Nobody does this to Wife Beater! Zandig, Wife Beater, Nick Mondo! We are the most ultra-violent force on the face of the earth! Oh my! Oh! Yo, you're gonna die! You are gonna die! I guarantee it! I am gonna kill you! You people have not seen anything! This is just the start of fake UTV! I am the ultraviolet icon! This is Robbie Marino! This is CZW, the most violent federation on the face of the earth! You just wait and see how far we're gonna go! I'm out of here!
So that was a Zandig from CZW, absolutely. Just probably did a rail of white lightning before cutting this promo.
Cutting right into to Bobby Marino right there.
So that's my favorite part of. I think that's my favorite part of the promo where Bobby, is it Robbie or Bobby Marino?
Is it Robbie Marino?
Pretty much the guy that's interviewing. He's dressed in probably a suit he got from Men's Warehouse.
On discount?
Buy 3, get the 4th one free. But he's like, I'm here, Bobby Marino with Zandig, and they go, "Oh my God, what the fuck just?" So yeah, that's Zandig, which I guess it's a play on the band Danzig. Is that what the guy's name's supposed to be? A play on the band Danzig?
I mean, I don't see anything that he has in common with them, but I'm not too sure on that, Skip.
Yeah, and I think I've watched shoot interviews with CM Punk. I think Zandig was kind of like the Dusty Rhodes of CZW, the company.
Oh,
so
man.
He was wrestler and booker. I could be wrong. I don't know. Could be wrong about that, but he kind of like, I guess, would put himself over too on the card. But do you blame it with a promo like that?
He put CZW on the map by
He
himself.
should have been world champion for 20 years. With that promo.
Oh man!
All right, let's go to the next one right here.
World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair and Arn Anderson want to have the National Tag Team Champions. We talked earlier about Ole Anderson. What has happened to him? Let you two guys talk about it now.
As I said, you keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in and slap your face. You're not talking to Dusty Rhodes, brother. You're talking to a couple of men. Now get in here, Tony Schiavone. As I said earlier, the great Ole Anderson unable to be here today because of the fact he was maliciously attacked. He's hurt. And we want to roll a film right now showing the whole world exactly what kind of man they call the American Dream.
Here we go. The American...
Here he is in all his glory, hollering at me standing all by myself, me the great one, Arn Anderson right there, both of us dealing, unable right now to think about anything except the leg on a great member of our family, Ole Anderson. But sure, he's going to stand there and challenge me, knowing that my mind and my heart are there with our cousin Ole. Now look at this, Tony Schiavone. You tell me right now that this great athlete deserves to suffer an injury like this. And you know what really disgusts me? There's about 16,000 people in the Omni laughing and hollering, thinking that's a real smooth operation. Now, I'm going to tell you people something as you watch this film, and I'm going to identify myself for all you fools out there that might not recognize the voice. The name is Ric Flair. They call me the world champion. For all of you out there that think that this is real cute and that Dusty Rhodes is a big dog now, you remember one thing. Arn Anderson and Ric Flair walk as tall as any two men alive today. And as I'm standing here right now, I'm making you a promise. I'm making myself a promise. We have made the rest of our family a promise. Dusty Rhodes will be back in the hospital within 90 days.
I'm gonna break the silence right now. I'm tired of being polite. I'm tired of being polite to you. What you've just witnessed hits me right in the gut. You took a man, Dusty Rhodes, that helped raise me, and before my very eyes, with those 200-300-pound road warriors riding shotgun, you have crippled him right before my very eyes. And for a man like me, that is an Anderson, that is inbred with Anderson blood, I can't accept it. And the thing that makes me sick, Tony Schiavone, is guys like you, Jim Crockett, David Crockett. He comes in the ring, Dusty Rhodes comes in the ring with a steel-toed boot, continuously kicks Ole Anderson in the leg. I've told you about that boot time and time again. You won't do anything about it. If that had been Ric Flair wearing it, if it had been me or Tully Blanchard wearing it, what would you have done? Fines, suspensions. Hey, I'm not taking you home.
Oh my goodness, baby dolls out here.
You take me home or not. I'm out here to say, Arn Anderson, you are next.
Oh, is that a play? Just 1 minute.
Wait a minute, Tony Schiavone.
You're next.
And I got news for you. When you get off Space Mountain, you'll be like this.
Tony Schiavone, any intelligent human being knows that women were put on this earth
You understand?
to make dinner and make babies, and that's where the line is.
Right back.
Oh man.
So just like the Jay Lethal promo, this shit went completely off the rails. Oh, I think this might be one of your. I think you, even though you don't know that much about wrestling, you're a fan of any time Tony Schiavone is part of the interview, right, with Ric Flair.
Oh man, this is probably my favorite interview of all time. My favorite promo. It just has everything. It starts off calmly enough, but then it's just Ric Flair like screaming at the audience, like, "Hey, you keep your mouth shut! I'm gonna go over there and slap you in the face."
You're talking to a couple of men here. You're not talking to Dusty Rhodes.
And it's just like how he grabs at Tony Schiavone. He's like, "Get in here, Tony Schiavone," and like, he shoves him back into the camera. Like this whole promo is like, oh man, I just can't. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, I'm like crying tears of laughter.
And usually, anybody that's cutting a promo when Ric Flair's in the same building doesn't hold, they don't hold the same weight. But I think Arn Anderson, he's a good promo too.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, I'm tired of being a nice guy, and women need to be in the kitchen. I'm not gonna say anything about that comic because I don't want to get me too'd. Yeah, but
I'm talking about being inbred with Anderson blood.
Yeah, we love. These are the promos I think we would watch.
Yeah. Oh, I can't tell
with
you how many times.
Jack and Coke.
Oh man.
And I'm not sad, and I have a tear in my eye right now. Okay. Just of crying and laughing watching this. Yeah. So yeah, that's an awesome promo right there. And of course you got Baby Doll coming in and calling him out as if Ric Flair wasn't riled up enough. Baby Doll comes
or that promise he's saying about how Dusty Rhodes will be back in the hospital within 90 days.
Yeah. I think I saw on sorry for the listeners, you hear my dogs going crazy back there, but yeah, I like that. I think I was watching a Four Horsemen promo, and someone in the comment section said, like, this makes me want to grab 3 of my best friends and go beat up Dusty Rhodes. That was like the theme of all these promos. Like, they just wanted to whoop Dusty Rhodes' ass and put him out of commission. So now we're gonna go. I would say it's fair to say that this was a very, coherent interview. We're gonna go from that to a very maybe not so coherent one.
Have a question to answer your question. As you, Hulk Hogan, travel to WrestleMania by conventional means, the normal you travel with experience malfunctions. As you realize all that is left is total self-destruction, do you, Hulk Hogan, show self-pity? Do you, Hulk Hogan, try to reason why? Do you, Hulk Hogan, try and comfort the normals that have even more fear than you? Or do you, Hulk Hogan, kick the doors out? Kick the cockpit door down. Take the two pilots that have already made the sacrifice so that you can face this challenge. Dispose of them, Hulk Hogan. Assume the controls, Hulk Hogan. Shove that control into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan. Push yourself to total self-destruction. As you realize, Hulk Hogan, you are about to enter a world close to parts unknown. Oh, smell it, warriors. Do you, Hulk Hogan, look for a place to hide? Or do you, Hulk Hogan, face that challenge that may be more powerful than even you are, Hulk Hogan? You, Hulk Hogan, must self-destruct so that you will know, Hulk Hogan, who is the chosen one. For Hulk Hogan, I am not the chosen one that you speak of. I am not. I, Hulk Hogan, am the only one.
As you, Hulk Hogan. So we just heard their Ultimate Warrior talking about. So wait, I'm a little confused. Let's get the logistics right. He wants Hulk Hogan to pilot an aircraft and put it into a nosedive to parts unknown, or what's going on?
I think if first of all, this interview is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of in my life. I think he's calling Hogan out, and he wants him to go to WrestleMania, but travel by unconventional means.
So for those that don't know, this promo was before WrestleMania 6. WrestleMania 6 was where Ultimate Warrior faced Hulk Hogan for quote unquote the Ultimate Challenge, which was title for title, champion versus champion. Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental Champion. Hulk Hogan was the WWF Heavyweight Champion. So they faced each other, and the winner won both belts.
Oh man, yeah. And so while Hogan is traveling by unconventional means, he wants him to break down the cockpit of the door and dispose of the pilots.
So he wants Hulk Hogan to break some laws. Here, I don't think that's allowed at Delta or Alaska Airlines. So maybe he wants to win the world title at a disqualification. Like Hulk Hogan's not going to be able to show up if he's knocking down the cockpit door.
And he also wants him to dispose of the pilots because they have already made the sacrifice. If I'm understanding this correctly.
Yeah.
Then I guess Hogan's supposed to be so scared to face him, so he wants him to shove the plane into a nosedive? Is that what I'm getting?
So he wants him to... So, all right, just because you might not know this. So back in the day, there was the ring announcer, Howard Finkel, would say, from Venice Beach, California, or from Sarasota, Florida. Ultimate Warrior, wrestlers were from different parts of the world. Ultimate Warrior was hailed from parts unknown.
Yeah.
So nobody knew where he was from. And that's where he wants Hulk Hogan to put himself into a nosedive into. So I don't know if he wants him to like off himself, or he just wants all of them nosedive into parts unknown.
Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't from parts unknown. I mean, the way he spoke, probably nobody understood what he was saying, but yeah,
Yeah, so just to give a little background, I used to, I'm a big Hulkamaniac. I'm a Hulk Hogan guy. When I was growing up watching wrestling, I went back and rented all the VHS tapes. And this is the one VHS tape that broke my heart, was WrestleMania 6. Because the Ultimate Warrior was the only guy to beat Hulk Hogan clean. No interference, no foreign objects. He beat him clean in the middle of the ring. And he was kind of, I guess in a way, Hulk Hogan passed the torch to the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was supposed to be the next guy to carry the company. That didn't really pan out because I think Ultimate Warrior had other issues going on. But, he was like kind of the chosen one, the Ultimate Warrior, to take the torch and run with it.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, that makes more sense.
So I guess at that time, I don't know, in promos that I've heard, Hulk Hogan has said, yeah, I was kind of getting pushed out because I was getting older and they wanted to bring in somebody new. I guess Hulk Hogan at that time had too much power. Ultimate Warrior, I mean, I always hated the Ultimate Warrior as a kid because he beat Hulk Hogan. And hold on, let me crack open a triple IPA here, which I might regret later. Let's get this on audio here.
Another round for the boys.
This is like a triple IPA called Hop Juice that tastes like a fucking, like it was filtered through a guy's asshole.
Oh, God.
Can you give me a koozie for this one? Like, open the bar, please, a bar door, and there's a little drawer. No. In that one, there's a drawer, and give me a koozie. Just not any koozie is good. Yeah, so I hated the Ultimate Warrior solely because he beat Hulk Hogan, but in the later years watching the Ultimate Warrior promos, I have a whole different respect for him. Even though his promos don't make sense, you could tell he believed what he was preaching.
I mean, they don't have to make sense, and obviously they never did, but it's just the entertainment value is through the roof.
It's kind of, I think people have said it you didn't know what he was talking about, but you could tell he believed what he was talking about. So you got to give him that. He was into it, whatever the hell he was talking about. Yeah, so that I had at the number 2 spot. We're actually getting to our number 1 spot on our favorite, I guess, I don't know, I would say funniest promos or just nonsensical promos. I don't know what this list is, but we're right here boozing it up and enjoying the new year coming around. And yeah, let's get to our number 1.
Oh man, I can't wait for this one.
Scott Steiner, it's going to be a 3-way for the TNA heavyweight title at Sacrifice between you, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. Now, before you get there, you have an important step tonight as you and X Division champion Petey Williams take on the unlikely duo of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix.
your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice. See, but I'm going to break it down for all you ladies. Would you rather be with me, or would you rather be with Joe?
Well, I think Joe's kind of nice. I mean, you know.
See, you're one of those girls that like romance. I'm going to talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home to me, a genetic freak, to be satisfied every night, or go home to that fat-ass Samoa Joe? See, tonight, we're going to win, and I'm going to be the world champion at Sacrifice. Come on, P. Let's go.
Scotty, just like you always say, Big Papa Pump has got your hookup. Well, Maple Leaf Muscle is who you need to look up. Holler if you hear that.
I don't know what promo we heard a little earlier, but it kind of just feels after Scott Steiner cut his promo, nobody else needs to talk. Like, you just leave it at that. No disrespect to Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams, but how do you follow that?
I don't even know where to begin with this promo. Did he call him Senior Joe?
Samoa Joe.
But did he call him Senior Joe?
I don't think so. I think it's just Samoa Joe. But so let me pull up my calculator on my Windows computer. So he said it's a three-way, right? 100. All right, 100 divided by 3, right? All right, let's see. I'm gonna try. All right, so he was right. He said that
33 1/3.
So that Kurt Angle has. Oh no, Samoa Joe has a 33 1/3 chance, right, of winning,
Yeah.
which is correct because it's. I did the math. 100 divided by 3 is 33.333. So he wasn't lying. The math adds up right there. But then he said, "But did he say Samoa Joe? Oh no, he said Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me."
So he's not even gonna try.
So he's not even gonna try. So that gives him a what?
A 66 2/3 chance.
I don't even know how to put that. All right, and then he's a genetic freak, so you gotta put that into the equation.
Add that up into the equation.
What was that he's a genetic freak factor?
Oh God.
I don't know. Anyways,
he ended up with like 144% chance of winning at Sacrifice.
Yeah, so let's just say maybe Scott Steiner's math didn't really add up because I don't think you can go over 100%. I struggled with algebra in high school, but I know you can't go over 100%. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think we can top that as our number one promo to watch while we're having some beers.
Oh man.
I just like how he says he does his own math. I think in the YouTube comments for one of those
I'm pretty sure he does his own
promo
math.
Somebody like broke down the math, but it didn't add up, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think there's another video that explains it better because the one we just saw is actually like video of that promo, but there's another one where they're doing the math in the background, and as he's talking, they're doing the math on the green screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a certain point where it makes no sense, which I would say all of it, it's just like question marks.
Man, Scott Steiner. This guy's a national treasure.
Don't get me wrong. He's a jam up guy, you know.
And a serious professional. That's for sure. So that I had as our number one, just because I think like, man, how can you top that as our number one? Can you think of one that could top this promo as a number one?
Oh, that's gonna be a. I'm stumped. Like I just have all those numbers in my head. I can't even. Oh, wait a minute. No.
Which one were you thinking of?
I was thinking of that that promo where I'm not sure if it was the first match or the second match that Ric Flair was gonna have with Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put that one. So my godfather, aka the Codfather, didn't Oh, you didn't know about that nickname, the Codfather?
It makes sense because I'm a tuna.
Yeah. So he's talking about, this is our number one promo where we watch Ric Flair and Bret Hart cut a promo on each other. But I felt like that one you gotta watch.
No, you definitely have to watch that one.
So I didn't add it to this podcast because obviously it's an audio podcast. I think it didn't play as well when I listened to it. I think you got to watch it. But he's talking about Bret Hart, Ric Flair, promo, and WCW. Man, it's so awesome.
Yeah, just playing it, and obviously the audio only wouldn't do it justice. You definitely have to watch that one. It's so good from beginning to end. I mean, it still makes you crack up, but it all unlike most of these promos, it actually makes sense, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of a look it up. It's Ric Flair, Bret Hart, WCW promo, and pretty much, and it's actually New Year's themed because it happens on I think a Nitro after a New Year's, because Ric Flair says Happy New Year's. And he starts calling out Bret Hart. He calls out Bret Hart. But yeah, that was our top 10 list. But we're going to go to at least 2 honorable mentions. I'm going to play 2 honorable mentions that didn't quite crack the top 10.
And right now, this bald warrior is standing by with more.
1, 2, 3. Don't divide yourself in a full power. Do you have what it takes to be the most powerful force in the entire universe? Prepare yourselves! Exit stage left! Exit stage left! Take it back to punch the nose! Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel! Load it with the word! There is no place to rest! All the fuses in the exit signs have been burned out! Physically, mentally, destiny! Don't smoke.
So that wasn't necessarily a promo. It was just 49 seconds of the Ultimate Warrior losing his shit. I just like that. So that's an honorable mention. Let's play this honorable mention too.
Earlier we talked to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go now to that interview. Folks, there's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Jeff, a while back, what a match you had with Motley.
Yep. Probably the hardest match I ever had in my life. But I don't like it when things aren't going my way. Motley Cruz, you turn the tables on me. You turn the tables in a wrong way. You got me mad now. I've stood around. I've listened to everything you had to say. I did everything necessary. But when you turn around and you backstab me one way or another, and you cheat me out of what's rightfully mine, that's when I get angry. Now I'm the one doing the challenging. I'm issuing a challenge to you, Motley Cruz. Get in the ring with me. This time, I'm going full force.
So as an honorable mention, I don't think you've ever watched that one. That's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. From I don't know what promotion that is, but I think he says, yep. And Motley Cruz, I guess he was wrestling Motley Cruz and wasn't too fond of Motley Cruz. What did you think of that one?
Oh, man, that was already... his little.
You know what it reminded me of? Remember, we've talked about this, The Simpsons, where I think the guy from, was it Hard Copy or what was it called?
Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom on The Simpsons, where he's like, "Where are the prostitutes?"
Oh yeah.
And the guy's like, "We don't got any." And he's like, "Where's the sour gum?" Out. We say like, "Oh, we grow sour gum here." And the interviewer asks him, "Where's the prostitutes?" And the farmer responds, "Out back."
Whoops. He's kind of like a Cletus character.
So I had those two as my honorable mentions, but we did our top 10, talked about the honorable mentions. I don't think you've ever listened to the podcast, but it's tradition around here. At the end of the podcast, we play a little quiz game. So I'm gonna put you through the ringer, and we're gonna play a little quiz game.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
First, let's get it to a little commercial. We'll come right back.
Wow, Kurt Angle.
Keep the change.
Thanks.
Whoa, what's gotten into this pizza? Hey!
Come on! They square off. Tomato drop kicks. Pepper scoops him into an airplane spin. Big slap.
Fresh pepper!
Pizza outlet. The taste that screams fresh.
Oh, man, that was beautiful.
Tuna, Codfather, Psycho T. It's time to play a little trivia game. Do you know of the wrestler Ahmed Johnson?
Do I know of him?
Yeah.
I want to say I do.
Can you describe him to me?
Isn't he bald, black?
Okay.
Very fit.
Damn, I'm surprised. How do you know of Ahmed Johnson?
I've seen I want to say promos as well.
Yeah. So promos is correct because I'm going to play. So there was a little wrestling game on the PlayStation 1. We're aging ourselves. This is the.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to play promos from the original PlayStation. It wasn't even called the PlayStation 1. It was just called the PlayStation. So there was a little wrestling game called WWF Warzone, where as you're playing the game, depending on who you select, depending on who you wrestle, that person cuts a promo on you. And you remember the PlayStation, there would be little videos, FMVs, I guess you would call them, of people cutting like just little videos, short videos. So in this WWF Warzone game, as you progress through the game, once you come to Ahmed Johnson, he cuts a promo on you.
Oh, man.
So these promos are notorious because nobody knows what the fuck he's saying in the promos.
Oh, man.
Like he's cutting the promos with a jar of marbles in his mouth. So my challenge to you is for each of these promos, tell me exactly what he's saying.
Oh, God.
All right, so let's get right to it. Let's get to the first promo here.
What that stupid little grin off your face, cause it's time to meet the real superstar of WWF. And I'm gonna beat you, and no one gonna come save your sorry carcass. Just make sure you got plenty of insurance. Call.
All right, so what did Ahmed Johnson say right there?
Okay, I can't tell you word for word, but the gist of it is that if you come down to face him, you better have insurance.
I would say that's pretty accurate, so I'll give you that one.
Sweet.
All right, now we're going to go to the next one. You got to tell me, so just listen to it and transcribe to me what he's saying, okay?
Listen up, punk. That little ass body of yours can't possibly deal with the ass whipping I'm going to give you in the ring. If you want to step up just like G, bring it on. Because I forgot to take my medication in the morning, and I'm in a real bad mood.
So what did Ahmed Johnson say?
Good Lord. I think he said to bring that tight little ass to him because he forgot to take his medication.
Yeah, but what was that first part that he said? Because in that part, you look like you didn't know what the hell he was saying right there.
Oh, I can't even. He just did like a high-pitched voice and like screamed. I don't even think those were words.
So I would give you your 1 out of 2.
Oh, man.
There, let's go to the third one here.
Hey, if you want to play like that, there ain't nothing between us but air and opportunity, boy. So go ahead, bring your toys and get a ring. Because there ain't nothing on this earth that's going to save you from this sad whipping.
Can you give us the gist of that promo?
I want to say he said, there's nothing between you and me besides a fruity something? Oh, man, what the hell is this guy talking about? Because he's going to give you an ass whooping. So whatever that fruity thing is between you and him, that's what's stopping him from giving you an ass whooping. That's what I understood.
You know, your guess is as good as mine. I think I'll give you like half a point for that one. So you're like 1.5. Go to the next.
Out of 3.
But now, you fucking ready to get the big dog. Because if you're dumb enough to believe you got what it takes to take on Ahmed Johnson in a verbal powerhouse, then come on. You step right up, baby. And I guarantee you won't be going home.
What was Ahmed Johnson saying right there?
Okay, so the very first part, I kind of understood because he was talking about if you're dumb enough to face Ahmed Johnson, and then it seemed kind of like he was eating a ham sandwich because I didn't understand a goddamn word he said. And he did like he has like this little high pitched scream. I don't know. I have no idea what he said. But if you're dumb enough to face him, whatever that means.
Yeah, this is when you would ask, "Hey Google," and they would be like, "I don't understand your question. Can you try that again?" So you win just because I have no idea. I don't have a transcribe of what he said in any of those promos. So your guess is as good as mine, and they sounded good to me.
Oh man!
So you might be one of the very few winners on this podcast.
Yes.
Many have tried, many have failed. So we're gonna go to a quick little commercial, come right back and wrap things up.
Boring. Well, so how many high school boys does it take to change a light bulb?
What a light up your life? Yeah! Never know Slim Jim! Turn to the spice! Baby, juice is nice! Need a little excitement? Snap it to a Slim Jim!
So as we're watching that promo, my Codfather tells me, "Why didn't you have the cream of the crop?" And you're right. Why didn't I don't know. I guess there's just too many promos that are comedy gold to remember. But this, brings us to the end of the podcast. This was a New Year's edition podcast with myself and my Godfather / best man drinking White Claws. Now I've transitioned into triple IPAs by myself and watching wrestling promos as we would do in years past, just watching wrestling promos, hilarious ones, and drinking beers and drinking Jack and Coke. Thank you for joining me, though.
Oh, it was an honor and a pleasure, and obviously we've done this before, and I'm pretty sure as we're doing it now, we're gonna keep doing it into the future. Hopefully there'll be more promos in the making, I would say. But yeah, it's been fun, and I can't wait to maybe do another episode.
Yeah, well, I already told you I'm a big To Catch a Predator fan.
Oh,
Chris Hansen. So next year, I want to do my favorite. I can't even explain it right now, but I love To Catch a Predator. I think it's a surveillance reality show, crime investigation / sitcom. So I want to bring you back on for us to watch some videos and react to those To Catch a Predator videos.
Oh man!
And I know you're not really big into the social media, so you don't want people to follow you. Do I think your last Instagram post was like 8 years ago.
I would say even longer than that, yeah. But if you want to follow me on Xbox, I'm Hedonism Xbox, I want to say.
And by the way, if you guys can help him get an actual Xbox Series X, which is super awesome, help him out. He still has the fucking VCR Xbox One. We need to get this guy a new Xbox Series X.
Hey, not for lack of trying. I'm there. I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, but thank you again. As for me, make sure you follow me on all social media. That's where I post what episodes are coming up, how you can be part of the podcast. I would like to have like listener participation, so make sure you follow me on RetroTiburon, RetroTiburon. On Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. That's where I post what episodes are coming up, how you can participate in the podcast. So just make sure you follow me on one of those platforms. As for this episode, we're done. It was a short one, but Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully this 2022 is a little more chill than the last couple years, and we can get back to normalcy. Any last words for you?
Like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure, and it's always great to hang out with you and just watch these videos and crack a cold one or two and just laugh it up.
Yep. But I thought since we've been watching hilarious promos, we're gonna end this one with a hilarious compilation of wrestling. It's I got this one at it's called Wrestling Out of Context from a YouTuber called Chris Stevens. So it's just out of context to wrestling promos. We're gonna leave you with this. See you guys on the other side.
Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. And I'm coming hard.
Thank you.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Brutus the Buck, take a look at this. Brutus, this is incredible. What a package.
Well, you're not going to bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
After I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs, I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
But I want it too, and I had to fight inch for inch to get this, and I'm not about to lay down on my back and let someone cover me.
I thank you very much. We're going to be right back.
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
And now the Warrior's down on his knees. But this one a long way from being over, buddies.
Absolutely. This is just warm-up right here.
Chris Kelly, I tell you what. When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
Jerking the angel! Shawn Michaels, you can hide behind that commissioner's stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And Sting, always coming from behind. And as far as Bischoff goes, I'm going to eat his ass.
And Mark Henry is handling the Big Johnson.
I started out fighting in this barn when I was a little boy, and I don't care if my last fight is in this barn. Jimmy Garvin, you touched me in a personal way you never touched me before.
Oh! That's interesting.
Then you step up. And if you don't think I'm big enough, brother, then you grab a hold of me. And you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you. Now, it doesn't take a very big snake to do the job.
He succeeded. He was successful in just using his mouth to get the man off.
well, I'm going to take care of business the way it should be done. Perhaps I've been too nice. Perhaps I've been trying to be a real sports, a real gentleman. Now, Tully Blanchard, I want you. It's not Uncle Sam talking to you. It's Ronnie Garvin. I want you, and I'm going to get you. I'm going to have you. I'm going to get to touch your body. I'm not just making promises. I'm telling something that is going to be done, something that is going to happen in the future. Because bones do heal. But I've got a memory like an elephant. And I can do it like an elephant.
And The Rock just jerked Helmsley off.
Well, even when I was a little teeny holster, there were a few things that turned me on, dudes. Fine-tuned guitars and firm-feeling women. But in the twilight of Hulk Hogan's career, my kids turned me on.
I am sick and tired of playing around with kids. I'm here to get it on with the big boys.
Listen up! There's been a lot of sports writers and sports editors flapping their yaps about us getting soft. I'll tell you what, there's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about, because from the time I get in the ring with you, Guppy, it's gonna be a hard night, all night long.
Nikita Koloff, when I was tasting you, brother, I found you to be not so bad at all.
Rey Mysterio not sucking off anybody.
And Tully Blanchard, you can't run and hide from me anymore. And when we come to Philadelphia this time, there's going to be no mistaking what's going to happen. I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. No baby doll at your side. Nobody to run distractions for you. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do. This isn't some game. This is where men are men and the boys stay on the side and watch what's going on.
This crowd expecting a big explosion. You can bet they're going to get it.